Hi everyone, I'm Barry Stagner and this is his channel Newsbreak. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani declared on Wednesday that street unrest had been put down in a victory over foreign enemies after a wave of violent demonstrations swept the country following a hike in fuel prices last week. Amnesty International said it had documented at least 106 deaths of protesters killed by security forces, which would make it the worst street unrest in Iran in at least a decade and possibly since the 1979 Islamic Revolution. The internet has been shut down in Iran for days, making it difficult to obtain reliable reports of the extent of the unrest, but it appears to be the worst violence, at least, since Iran put down a, quote, green revolution, end quote, in 2009, where dozens were killed over several months. Although authorities said the streets were now quiet, social media videos showed what appeared to be continuing scenes of violence on Wednesday, a fifth day of unrest. It comes at a time when Iran's economy has been crippled by U.S. sanctions that have nearly halted its exports of oil, and when governments in Lebanon and Iraq that include Iran-backed factions have also faced increasingly violent demonstrations. The Iranian people have again succeeded in an historic test and shown they will not let enemies benefit from our situation, even though they might have complaints about the country's management, Rouhani said on state TV. Iran's top authority, Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, said on Tuesday the protests had been a security matter, not a popular movement, and had been dealt with successfully. Live footage on state television showed thousands joining pro-government demonstrations on Wednesday, with rallies in several cities and towns in which people chanted, "Death to America, death to Israel." At least 100 banks and dozens of buildings and cars had been torched, Iranian officials said, adding that about 1,000 protesters had been arrested. Quoting security sources, Iran's semi-official Fars news agency said several Iranian dual nationals were also arrested. Tehran has blamed thugs linked to exiles and foreign foes, the United States, Israel, and Saudi Arabia, for the unrest. They detained German, Turkish, and Afghan dual nationals, stating that they had been trained and funded by foreign intelligence services to stir up civil disobedience in Iran. They had equipment to be used for sabotage, Fars reported, without elaborating. Government spokesman Ali Rabiei said a plot to bomb Iran's major gas production installations in Asaluye on the Gulf had been thwarted. Blaming it on rioters, Iranian media reported Iranian authorities also said several people, including members of the security forces and police, had been killed. A local official said on Wednesday one of the leaders of the riots in Kermanshah province was killed by security forces. The Hizballah special forces battling Lebanese protesters are bound to swap their sticks for live ammo as Lebanon plunges into a regime breakup amid a crumbling economy. Saad Hariri's resignation as prime minister on Tuesday, October 29th, did not of itself greatly impact the declining political situation in Beirut, not only because he was not a strong leader, but because the sustained protest across the country had already cast Lebanon into three major power groupings in which he had no place. The protesters who have managed to sustain the momentum of their demonstrations into a third week while also preserving their non-secular national unity of purpose in their fight to be rid of a corrupt ruling administration. We know in the last days that lawlessness will abound from country to country and person to person, giving us today's reminder to keep looking up.